On the 2023 NFL season, the Philadelphia Eagles have used running back Rashaad Penny exactly 0 times as a runner inside the red zone. Exactly 0 times as a runner inside the red zone, and only a total of 3 carries on the season. Truth be told, from what I can see, he's only been active for 1 game on the year. Naturally, this has caused a curiosity to grow within the fan base about the lack of carries for Rashaad Penny. We have people such as Aaron chiming in from Sydney, Australia. Appreciate you, Aaron. Won't say no to Kenny Moore II being traded here, but unless Penny is soon utilized inside the red zone, we need a power back. My guy Brian chiming in with, when are they going to start playing Penny? Dante says Penny should get a shot in short yardage. He could be good in that role. Then my dude Stafford Beasley chimed in with the, where is Rashaad Penny? We could use that 220 pounds between the tackles in the red zone. That brings us to the subject of today's video. Why exactly haven't the Eagles used Rashaad Penny as a runner inside the red zone? All right, y'all. Let's get to it. What's up, Cerebral Football fans? My name is Steven Hyder. This is Gate City Sports. If we go back to Brian's comment about Rashaad Penny being a 220-pound running back, I definitely get the sentiment here. He is a 5'11", 220-pound back who was once upon a time a first-round selection coming out of San Diego State, where this young man put up a 4.46 40 with a 1.58 10 split on his way to having a 4.47 yards after contact per rushing attempt marker, which ranked number 11 overall in all of NCAA football. With that said, though, since 2021, Rashaad Penny has only been active for 16 out of 41 games. I do want to add a side note here that not all of this is necessarily due to injury. Obviously, there's a good portion of this season to where he's been healthy, but nonetheless has not been active for games. So that plays a role in that. Still, it's a lot of missed time. I can hear all of you in unison saying this now. Steve, but why haven't they used him on the 2023 season? That would explain why maybe he wasn't used on 2021 and 2022 season as much. Why not 2023? I think we have to get involved into the actual production of how he's been used. So to simply put it this way, guys, over the course of these seasons, 2021 through what we've seen so far in 2023, he has the fewest amount of red zone carries total amongst all of our active running backs, okay? He has 21 total red zone carries, which trails Boston Scott's 30 total red zone carries, which trails Kenneth Gainwell's 42 red zone carries, and which trails DeAndre Swift's 56 red zone carries. He's played the least amount of time there. However, what I think is the more important detail to this all is the fact that when you look at the high versus the low red zone, because a lot of people are calling for the low red zone. They're talking about inside the 10-yard line using a 220-pound frame to get there. In the high red zone, 15 of his 21 carries have come. I mean, we are talking about a very, very small and insignificant amount of carries that have happened in what we would call the low red zone. 1-yard line, goal line, basically 1-yard line area to the 10-yard line would be the low zone. 11 to the 20 would be your high red zone. Going back to the graph that I showed you guys to open the video, I showed you that basically if you take DeAndre Swift off the field in the high red zone, you're talking about a reduction of 69%, almost 70% of your production coming off the field if we're going to start removing DeAndre Swift and his carries inside of the high red zone in favor of Rashaad Penny. In the high red zone, Rashaad Penny has 15 carries for 36 yards, 1 touchdown, and a 2.4 yard per carry marker. Compare that to DeAndre Swift. You're talking about 25 carries for 106 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 4.24 yards. And then we just look at their total production regardless of where the handoffs occurred. Kenneth Gainwell, 56 carries, 190 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 3.39 yards per carry. Rashaad Penny, 21 carries for 52 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2.48 yards per carry. This evaluation is very difficult. Simply put, it's not as easy as just saying yards per carry, this is the definitive stat, guys, and don't worry about nothing else. Offensive lines play a role. Let's be real. How good your offensive line is in condensed spaces is going to have a major factor on your yards per carry. And you're trying to compare the Seattle Seahawks offensive line to the Detroit Lions offensive line to the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. And those are very, very different things. Should the Philadelphia Eagles be utilizing Rashaad Penny more? I don't know. I mean, it's a matter of opinion. Who really knows? I understand the underlying argument that he's a 5'11", 220-pound back that when we went back to his college career and his college days, I mean, this was a guy that was bouncing off of dudes. He's very patient behind the line of scrimmage, allows his blocks to set up. But in the NFL, I mean, especially of recent, he has not been used a lot in what we would call the low red zone. I don't know. I don't think this is an easy thing. And if we're talking about the high red zone, I still feel like it's a major mistake for the Philadelphia Eagles to be pulling DeAndre Swift off the field in the high red zone. There could be some valid arguments made when we get down to the low red zone. I'm not too sure I have the answer to this, to be quite honest, guys. I don't know because it's complex. My thought process is that I would like to see DeAndre Swift play a little bit more. You can't play him every down, guys, but a little bit more in the high red zone. And then when we get to the low red zone, can someone please find out for me, if you can, why is Boston Scott not being used where he's pretty dang good in the low red zone? I don't get it. Kenneth Gainwell's still fairly decent in the low red zone. I don't know. I'm not too sure I know what the answer is here, but I think the easiest answer that I could provide for you is no matter who the running back is, we need Cam Jurgens back in the football game, and we need to be better in the red zone with our run blocks, to be quite honest. It has not been great. Teams are playing it. They're bringing extras into the box. We got to figure some stuff out. All right, guys, if you want more content like this, go ahead and click this video right here, and you'll learn a lot about why we should or maybe shouldn't trade for a nickel cornerback. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out of here.